What's up, people? Welcome back to Motion Cap. We will be watching the recap of the movie Bait. Enjoy the video.
Push!
The scene opens with one of our main characters, hungover Josh, sleeping in his car. He gets Weena, Rory's sister, was a mistake and he shouldn't have done it. Rory tells Josh that his sister is at the beach waiting for him to see something. Josh goes and sees Tina in a bikini bending down and picking up a seahorse, make out. The next scene shows Rory, who is standing up on his lifeguard board watching an old man swimming far away from the shore. We see a shark in the water and then Josh, who is now the lifeguard, sees the old man get chewed by the shark. Josh sprints to the jet ski, screaming for Rory to come, and goes to save the man. The shark throws itself into Rory's board, busting it, and sending him flying into the water. Josh attempts to grab Rory and gets completely devoured. His body is again shown floating dead in the water and pulled away by the shark. Next we see Tina sitting on the beach paralyzed by the shock of what happened with Rory. Then we see that a year has passed and we see Josh watching TV alone in his house. On the TV screen it is stated that a shark migration is now happening. Josh gets nervous. He gets up and goes to make a cup of coffee and prepare himself for the next workday at the supermarket. His attention is grabbed by a newspaper article about the tragic death of his close friend Rory. After that he leaves the house and heads to the supermarket. When he gets there we see Rory. They drive their car into the parking lot where Kyle and Heather stop. Heather nervously asks what is the reason they stopped there. Kyle takes her phone out of her hands and quickly types something, and after reading it she says he's bad. Heather's dog, which is also in the car with them, starts barking and annoys Kyle, who grabs it and puts it in the back seat as they start making out. The next scene shows Jamie in the supermarket shoplifting, putting things in her deep pockets. A security guard sees her and tries to chase her down, but she rushes and manages to hide in the delivery room. She meets her boyfriend Ryan. Her songs. Then we see Ryan's boss. Scene of the movie presents us Josh and Naomi, whom we see stacking shelves. While working, Josh turns his head and sees his ex-girlfriend Tina with her new boyfriend Steven. She wants to initiate a conversation with Josh, but Steven quickly walks in and tells her to go clean herself up. Steven goes to Me's first and last reaction is to say oh shit. Then we see Kyle and Heather making a plan and agreement about what their actions would be after the robbery is completed. As he is getting out of the car, Doyle puts a gun at the back of his pants and Jamie's dad Todd, the cop, sees him doing it. Todd immediately takes hold of his gun and follows him into the supermarket he's aiming to rob. Kyle's partner in crime Doyle makes his way to Steven and forces him to open the safe, but it turns out to be empty. Dill starts asking where the money could be and starts walking down Man's head, puts his gun to it and tells him to put the guns down. Ryan starts walking directly to the car where Jamie is sitting in. She gets out of the vehicle after he lets her go and says that Dad is right. She heads straight into the supermarket to get her old each other's personalities and understand what is happening. Ryan then tries to leave with his van, but his battery appears flat and he has no other way to leave the parking lot. Though we see Josh, who is washing his hands over the sink when a sudden front of her to shoot her dead, but a tsunami forces its way into the city and floods everything: the supermarket, the parking lot, all of it. Ryan, Heather and Kyle are unable to escape as they are trapped in the car. Everyone near them is dead except Tina, Josh, Doyle, Steven, Jamie, Pessup, Kirby, Todd, Naomi and Neil. They all lose control and start panicking when they make an attempt to save himself and the others, but his life gets wasted by that bravery as the shark eats him up. In the next scene we can again see Kyle and Heather, who are in their car, but this time under the water and around another great shark. The wires attached to the ceiling and walls of the supermarket start to spark and increase the chance of creating an electric shock if they hit the water. Steven decides to turn the electricity off, but luck is not on his side and he also loses his life, this time by drowning. Then the shark in the car parking swims around, smashes the window and the water starts getting into the car until it fills up completely. Kyle manages to escape through the sunroof and asks Ryan to help him get out of the water and swim to his van without getting eaten by it. Kyle agrees to let Ryan do the job. Ryan starts proceeding with his plan. He cuts off a dead woman's hand and puts it into the water as bait so Kyle and Heather can swim safely to his van and throws Heather's dog towards it to save himself successfully. The next scene goes back to the supermarket showing everybody trying to escape through the vent. Ryan's boss Jessup goes to volunteer. He gets his head through the vent and makes a very large group of crabs come out of it. The shark notices the moving crabs and swims to them. There, it senses that Jessup is near and without a second thought bites him in half, leaving him senseless. Kirby gets knocked into the water and Doyle, willing to save him, starts feeding Steven's other half to the shark to distract it. Meanwhile in the car parking, Heather is mad at Kyle for feeding her dog to the shark. Then, Ryan gets the idea of climbing over the van and using the pipes, but when he tries it he falls in. Kyle immediately pulls him up onto the van but without success. He gets knocked into the water where the shark instantly attacks and chews Kyle to death. In one of the final scenes of the movie we are back in the supermarket where everyone desperately tries to get out of the situation. The last living people are shown grabbing hooks and meat to trap and catch the killing shark. Josh is feeling guilty for Rory's death and tries to apologize to Tina because he can't stop blaming himself. Everyone is still trying to catch the shark with the meat they have, preferably human flesh. Kirby goes to grab the hook in order to fulfill his plan. He puts the same hook through Naomi's shirt and tries to put her in the water to attract the shark. Doyle appears the bait instead. This plan finally works and they catch the ferocious animal. On the way out, Jamie hears Ryan banging on the pipes and finds out that Heather's dog is still alive. Josh and Jamie go to get them but then they get chased by the second shark wandering around in the car parking. They get on top of Todd's car and Josh tries to get Todd's taser and shotgun to kill the shark. Josh jumps in the water and fires the shotgun at the shark, killing it. They all get back to the supermarket where everything started and start preparing to leave. But as they are about to do so, a tremor happens. The tremor causes the animal to get free and Josh instinctively pulls out the taser and kills it. The final survivors of this tragic battle appear to be Josh, Ryan, Tina, Heather, Heather's dog, Doyle, and Naomi. They are the devastated, but proud heroes of the story who never let the fear stop them from acting courageous. They all leave the supermarket and go to the streets, where we see the immeasurable destruction the tsunami has caused. The final scene follows a bird flying out to the sea where it gets eaten by a shark jumping towards the camera and signaling that the danger is still among us. The end. Thanks for watching.